Hi, I'm Nick Marston, cardiologist at Brigham and Women's Hospital and an investigator at the TIMI study group. I'm here with my colleague, Michelle O'Donoghue, also a cardiologist and senior investigator at the TIMI study group. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to talk about Oceana PreEvent trial, which is a new trial that we're going to share with everyone. But let's start with kind of the disease state and talk about lipoprotein little a. Tell us a bit about that and why it matters.
Yeah, so it's a very important topic because a lot of people are talking about lipoprotein little a right now. So it's also known as LP little a, and it's a type of cholesterol, but it's not a type that is usually measured on a regular cholesterol panel that you might have checked at your doctor's office. You have to ask for it specifically. And why does it matter? Well, we know that LP little a appears to play an important role for some people with developing heart disease and other types of plaque buildup in their bodies. But right now, we don't have any effective therapies for lowering it. We know that it's primarily genetically determined as well. So, usually with cholesterol, we think about diet, we think about exercise, but for lipoprotein little a, right now we don't actually have effective ways of reducing it.
Yeah, so we're in this interesting time where we're testing it more clinically. A lot of people are identified as having high levels and want to do something about it, but we don't yet have therapies. And so that's where these trials are coming in. And let's talk about the drug we're studying here, olpasiran. How does it work and what does it do?
So olpasiran works in the liver, and it actually prevents you from synthesizing one of the key parts of lipoprotein little a. So long story short is that it's able to very effectively reduce LP little a concentration in your blood. In fact, based on the phase 2 data, which are the earlier clinical trials that looked at the efficacy of olpasiran, it appears that the higher doses of olpasiran can reduce LP little a concentration by more than 95%. And also, based on what we have to date from the phase 2 program, it appears to be safe. So there is a higher incidence of injection site reactions, as well as just hypersensitivity reactions around those injection sites. But overall, right now, the safety profile looks very good.
So tell us about the next steps and who we're going to be kind of testing this in Oceana PreEvent.
So it's a very exciting time because we now have 2 phase 3 programs. So there's the main clinical trials for evaluating in a very large population. And we've already previously enrolled the Oceana Outcomes trial. That was a patient population who had already had a heart attack or had had a stent, a method for trying to unblock one of the arteries around the heart. That trial has already completed enrollment and is in the follow-up phase. But now we're launching Oceana PreEvent. And just like what it sounds like, we're really trying to go back to an earlier stage before people have had an actual heart attack or stroke or any type of event that is related to that kind of plaque buildup. So it's really kind of dialing back the clock, turning back time, and seeing if we can really stop people from developing the type of plaque buildup that might eventually contribute to having that type of an event.
Well, that's very appealing as a preventive cardiologist. Again, we're testing this a lot clinically. Patients are identifying high levels, but many of them have not yet had their disease, and we want to prevent that, their event, and we want to prevent that from happening. And so I think this trial will test that very well. So how many patients are you planning to enroll? How long are you going to follow them?
So it's going to be a global trial, 11,000 participants. So really just a huge number of individuals that we're looking to enroll for this study. So it's a very exciting time, and people will be followed for several years. So, around about 5 years or so is going to be the follow-up time, but that might differ for each and every patient. And it's going to be enrolling patients who either have multiple risk factors, so the types of risk factors that we think about, such as age and diabetes, those types of factors come into play for identifying the patients who may be eligible. They'll have elevated LP little a concentrations, and we'll also have some patients who have some established atherosclerosis. So they are known to have some degree of plaque buildup, but they've never had an event before. So really, again, trying to stop the disease in its tracks whenever possible.
Perfect. Well, very exciting. It's an important trial, an important space where we need a therapy. So a big need here. We look forward to seeing the results of Oceana Outcomes and then this Oceana PreEvent trial. So thanks so much, Michelle.
Yeah, can't wait to stay tuned and see how the results look.
Definitely.